in 77, I never asked to exist. Dragged from my mother's womb, though I tried to resist. Sickened by the world we live in. 0 is the number of fucks I'm giving. I'm cold, just like a champagne bucket. But if I see something juicy, then I suck it. Rolex watches and Creed colognes. I got a diamond toilet encrusted with stones. I murdered a gerbil, I put a firework in its ass. I never seen a rodent move so fast. I can count my true friends on just one finger. And on the rest of the motherfuckers I never linger. Vintage chorus, I got the Paris of the Ritz. I got no time for the Gaultier bullshit. I'm never wasting any feelings on ladies, because love is a disease like rabies. Dressed like a dandy, making honey's brandy, but I'd rather give myself a hand shandy. Sipping on a pilsner and mainline and whiskey. Don't look me in the eye, cause you wouldn't want to risk me. Talking to you when I'm in a bad mood. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, dude. Cruising in my Kia Ceed with the roof down. Driving round Rochester like Noddy in Toy Town. Wearing cologne because you want to get compliments. What happened to your self-esteem? It makes no sense. Always shoplifting in the supermarket. I drive my blinged out ride and I find somewhere to park it. Steak and champagne in my oversized coat. I walk right out of the door and then I gloat at the security guard, that big lump of lard. Stealing this pepperoni pizza wasn't hard. Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today we are going to talk about the most stupid fragrance names in the world ever. How exciting is that? Also, I'm going to tell you about 3 amazing fragrances I'm looking forward to wearing over the coming week, good for the colder seasons of the year, or any time that you like to wear them. And also, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a truth about compliments and where I have got a couple of compliments recently. And it's not from a fragrance, but I know a lot of people like to get compliments. Please don't forget, before I get into the main section of this video, that the amazing Gravitas Pour Homme by Norton & Wilson is, at the time of filming this, on a special offer, 30% off at nortonandwilson.com. That's if you're in the USA, Canada, or UK. It's automatically changed the price there. And just check that out. You will probably not find that fragrance that cheap again in the near future. Maybe it's the best offer we've ever done, I think, on that individual one. Check it out. Okay, let's get stuck into it. So fragrance names got really silly in the last few years, didn't they? I mean, once upon a time you had Chanel Pour Monsieur, and you had YSL Pour Homme, and you had Valentino Uomo. That just means for a man. Or man. Okay, that was okay. I liked that. That was good. Or you had really interesting names like Koros by YSL, a Greek god. Or you had Xerius by Givenchy, or you had Antaeus from Chanel, or you had Egoist, and they were kind of titanic, iconic words somehow. And now, what are we left with? Well, let's have a look at some of the silliest. Let me know your silliest fragrance names that you are aware of in the comments down below. First of all, one that I'm lucky to have a vintage bottle of this discontinued gem, but I can't find it today. Dolce & Gabbana by Man. Okay, so partly I think this fragrance must have probably failed because of the bottle design. It looks very feminine leaning, I think, with that stripy zebra pattern. Looks like a woman's hair product or something, I would have said. Or, you know, it's going to be a brush or something's going to pop out of that canister. And I think the name probably had something to do with it. Okay, by man, so B-Y man, okay, now that kind of sounds like bi man as in B-I, bisexual man, and there's nothing wrong with being bisexual at all, but most of the people buying the fragrance probably weren't and probably found that name a little bit weird. So quite frankly, I think the bottle design and the name were both off-putting. Next up, you've got to put this one in the list, haven't you? And I love this guy and I really respect his success, and I do think it's a decent fragrance. It doesn't excite me much. Office for Men, Jeremy Fragrance. I mean, you want images with a fragrance of something, it's Fragrance One, of course, the brand, something exciting, sexy, inspiring. What could be further from that than Office? So Office for Men, I don't know, I think it was a huge commercial success, so clearly I know nothing. But the name, it's just, what are you wearing? Office for Men. How bizarre. Just such an underwhelming concept, a fragrance ideal for work or other situations. But, yeah, what do you think about that one? Next up, these are the ones where we're getting really slightly long and just bizarre names. So first one I noticed today, Valentino Born in Roma, Yellow Dream Uomo. Let's go through that again. Valentino Born in Roma, Yellow Dream Uomo. What are you wearing? You smell great. Oh, it's Valentino Born in Roma, Yellow Dream Uomo. That's, most people are just going to say, I think it's Valentino or something, Valtenito. So, wow, the names are just getting bizarre. So we had Valentino Uomo, then they did a flanker series to that called Valentino Born in Roma Uomo, but now we've got the Yellow Dream, whatever a yellow dream is. You know, I had a different kind of dream last night, but I haven't had a yellow dream. I had a blue dream, but I've never had a yellow dream. Let me know what that is and why are these names getting so ridiculous. It just, you know, you used to have Valentino Vendetta you had in the early 90s, and now look at what has become of your brand, Mr. Valentino. Another one, I don't think this is just weird. It's kind of the modern thing. I don't know, to pitch a new audience of millennials or Generation Z or whatever we're on now. Emporio Armani, Stronger With You Intensely. And there's also Stronger With You Absolutely And there's something else like stronger with you above all, or I don't, it's like some kind of stalker going through different stages of infatuation with someone. So men's fragrance, and it's a really strange name, Stronger With You. I suppose that could be all right, but it's a bit weird. I don't know. I just don't get these modern kind of ways of thinking about fragrance names. Why can't you just call it Emporio Armani Man or something? But Stronger With You Intensely. And what does that mean? I'm stronger with you intensely. It's not even good grammar. Very strange what's going on in the world. And finally, I do like this house, but I'm not sure about all the names of the series, where they're the ones with the big animal heads and their more upscale releases. English brand, Penhaligon, so I do have quite a good affinity with. I like their fragrances. The World According to Arthur. Correction, I actually meant to say it's called It's All About Arthur. What the fuck? What does that mean? What's that got to do with a fragrance? So they do these fragrances themed after people and aristocrats, fictional stories and stuff. I haven't bothered to read the story. But what are you wearing? It smells fantastic. Oh, The World According to Arthur. Just weird. So guys, let me... Oh, no, we've got another one. Jovan Sex Appeal from the 70s. That's pretty cheesy. That's pretty gross. Jovan Sex Appeal, that's kind of so good it's bad, isn't it? I don't like the fragrance, actually. Poor fragrance, in my opinion. Don't buy that one. Jovan Sex Appeal. I got enough sex appeal, thank you. It is innate. I don't need a fragrance to give it to me. We also have Bondage, a cheapie you can buy, which is a copy of Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Mal. And suffice to say, I've never used it. Yes, indeed. Okay, 3 fragrances you might actually like to wear. So you get some of that. I'm trying to do a different kind of formatting with my videos, not like everybody else. Might fail, might not. The odds are in favour of the former. I have mentioned this a lot lately, I'm sorry. Chypre Siam. I really love Chypre Siam from Rogue Perfumery. Brilliant Chypre fragrance. A bit like Guerlain Mitsuko, but a kind of richer version of that. And it has this twist of exotic incense that has to be, I think that's supposed to be in a Chypre fragrance, kind of green bitterness and oak moss mixed with labdanum. And it has that just exquisitely done. It is so good, like an old school gem for a man or a woman. Great performance. Chypre Siam, Rogue Perfumery, sort of an indie niche house. You can Google it or whatever. It's not my problem to help you find out where to buy it. It's not my issue. No affiliate codes here. Actually, if someone wants to give me some, I'll say anything. New York Intense, Nikolai, amazing powdery fougere, kind of spicy, powdery, vanilla, like a lovely talcum powder. Alternative to Invasion Barbar by MDCI, another powdery, very expensive fougere fragrance. This one more reasonably priced. And in the same vein, but different, and I think better, famously the favourite perfume of Luca Turin, the famed, now apparently retired perfume critic. Absolutely amazing, which I wish I got a bigger bottle. And forgive my fougere penchant or fetish, Fougere Royale. I haven't mentioned this one for a while. Fubigance Fougere Royale is amazing. It is just the quintessential gentlemanly scent. It is fresh. It has citrus. It has floral tones. It has an anything but the kitchen sink note listing. It has tonka bean. It has a little twist of lavender. It has camphorous tones warming you. It is just a beautiful, classy, reassuring, masculine smell, but not super dated like some of my 80s favourites. This is a 2011 reimagining of the world's first fougere fragrance, which Fougere Royale, I think in 1888 was. You must try this. And reasonably priced again for niche. Briefly then, I got 3 comments out last weekend in the salubrious environment of the pubs of Rochester. And literally, I think 4 actually. 4 people commented on my jacket that I looked very smart. I don't think they were being sarcastic, but they might have been. It was this, but it was a dark blue version. Somebody said I looked very dapper. Somebody said, look... 4 people started, I was kind of, it was in places where people had a couple of drinks, I'll be honest. But 4 compliments on my clothes. None on my fragrance, which was Givenchy Xerius, which is seriously good. Moral of the story, if you care about compliments, I don't massively, but they don't hurt. Clothes are a much easier way. And whenever you're out, or I suggest, don't be afraid to be the best dressed person in the room. And in at least one of these pubs, I think it's fair to say I might have held that title amongst the men there. No offence to them. So a lot of people think, if I dress up too much, people think I'm pretentious, or I fancy myself, or I'm not comfortable with it. Break that internal barrier of internalized depression and be smarter. Dress up a little bit smarter. Always be slightly overdressed for any occasion, okay? I'm not saying go to the pub in a tuxedo, but don't go in a grubby old hoodie. Dress up a bit. People notice it. They maybe don't notice your fragrance. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. Watch of the day today, a 1950s Doxa. Beautiful 1956 Doxa watch. Lovely beads of rice bracelet that's not original to the watch, but as a vintage bracelet too. Love that 369, the Monkey Drank Wine, 12369 dial from the brand, Swiss brand. Not a prestigious brand, but I like it. Doxer, only 34mm, hand winding. You have to wind it. Those were the days, weren't they? See you next time, guys. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. And although very often life really can stink, at least we can always smell good. Bye-bye.